see. Wow. What is we buy? I was just looking at the dickery morning.
Morning, here is my month Bezos donation. Have a great day.
R-
Cat jam, cat jam, cat jam.
Riley, thank you for supporting Bezos. He needs it. Jeez, it's like everything I'm looking at here popped and then just dumped. HOFV. It's news on HOFV. Merger agreement. Okay. 29 days. Jeez. Salt, is this your first kid? I can't remember. First entrance. That's according to the IRS, no. But in reality, yes, first kid. I don't know what that means. Somebody have a baby mama or a baby daddies. I don't even know what that means. He made a side deposit. Don't claim it. Set out. Jeez. Best bet just can't go down fast enough. This is up again. My gosh. Remember when I had 4,000 shares of this at 98 cents? Yeah, that was fun times. Yeah. I've been all right if I would have held that. Whoa. What's up with that? Did I ever find out if Prodigy was gay or straight? I have no idea. This Prodigy is the new character in Apex, and everybody in ranked has to play it in ranked. They don't even know how to use the character properly, so you gotta harass them because you're like, oh, thanks for playing a new character that you don't know how to play in a ranked game. Appreciate that. So I had to ask if Prodigy was a girl or a guy because you don't know because you know, it doesn't look a certain gender. And then I said to the guy playing it, oh, I was asking just so I know if I could jerk off to it or not. The other guy in the team lost his shit. Boom! I was cracking myself up. I couldn't hold it in either because I said it so deadpan. Ugh. I couldn't hold it in. Damn, and Vax. And then I realized I was open mic in Discord still. So Discord heard half the conversation and probably was wondering what the hell is going on. Pony moving too. That was a good one. I was laughing so hard. Damn. Impacts. There it goes. Wow. Why is this going crazy? QPTS. QPTS. 1 minute on 8:30 news. Better than expected Q1. Okay. Pony moving. Here we go, 8:30. Pony just decided to go on a rocket ship. MLGO. It's a headline. Bigger float now, isn't it? NVIDIA about to break out. Damn it. Oh. All right. Potty break. Yep, morning, morning. How did this go to 2:30? $14th. GNS. I had a headline. Now I get going, huh? Uh, okay. Sharp's pumping Jay-Z. The hell? Has this been going on all day? Uh, 6 different tickers. Is it all low float shit or is it everything? Just low floats. UES. The hell? What the hell? Suck this dick. Okay. So shitters are off limits. Low a day. What the hell? check out the trading floor. Solid S bet. That's pretty remarkable. Jeez. V. Wow. And they all break lower. Like a lot. JZ, saw that one. Mira. Wow. STAI. And GRI. Wow. They. Okay. It's gonna be that kind of day, huh? Oh my gosh, how is that even possible? They dicked me on this fill. 50? Okay, that's not possible either. Stackers, thank you. Appreciate it. A little bit of a pivot through this $7 level. That's why I was kind of playing this. It does have room to like 780. Yeah. 790 maybe. Let's see. Nine o'clock news coming up. GPU is starting to move back up. Oh. Watch this WGRX. It's really thin blue sky potential. $9? It's the only one I don't take, and this thing goes to $9. Wow.
That's not my wings flapping. It's my ass cheeks. Today must be a heavy flow day for SJ. I mean, after yesterday's excitement, who could blame him?
And oh, she's a fool who doesn't have a clue other than that I like. Thank you, Crazy. Appreciate the kind words. IVF Daily trying to do something today. UPXI Daily. GP. Oh. A lot of things to watch. You'll punch yourself in the butthole. How many times he did it? 10. I think hymns will flush on the convertible news. I think it's already down, isn't it? This is a little bit of a pivot point here. So we'll see which direction we're going to go pretty soon, it looks like. I didn't know that was the news of convertible notes or whatever. I'd have to look at it. Interesting spot, though. eBuy. This looks like it could go crazy. Watch this one. UBT. Fauna. A lot of stocks to watch today. Of course, we have the deal, UK, whatever that looks like. See what the market thinks of that. We also have really big news, really big news, sometime today, tomorrow, or Monday. And it's not the UK deal because he said it didn't have anything to do with trade. Some might say the biggest news, yeah. So I'll have to keep an eye out on that. Hints on the internet were saying it might be prescription drug related. I have no idea. All right, 5-minute break. Be back for the open. I got my ass handed to me early yesterday. I don't really want to do that today. ASST starting to juice here. So, yeah. Who else? You go to Pope, fireworks. Like at the Pope starting now. All right. Fireworks an hour, bro. Did you get talking about? No. I just took a shower, didn't? Can't tell. You can't tell that I just took a shower. Man, you guys are slipping.
Stock JSJ Farquad.
What the hell? Six. Jeez. Nice try. It's a 30-second cock I was playing. It's rejecting. That's pretty good. Try again. 4. Come on. The hell?
No! Oh no!
All the way back down. Out. So remember ASST, every halt up yesterday was basically an opportunity for it to come crashing down and halt down. So let's see if we have that same pattern today. Kind of ugly. And didn't halt that. PLTR. Jeez. Juice. Watching this pony here. A 5-minute and a 1-minute. WGRX. Just straight down again, huh? What is this, 29? Oh, spreads. Nope. M-bot. There's that daily from yesterday taking off here. I don't have anything open, do I? No. Okay. Hmm. Hmm. Okay. The LTR is just juicing right now. Goodness gracious. Damn it, just missed it. Wow, GPUS. Okay. Hmm. Broke 34. Somehow. Jeez, man. It's like. Okay. LTR. Okay. That fell. Oh my gosh. spread sucks on this guy. Cooler is in. Holy pony. Jeez. And GPOS is back up. Wow. And max. No bueno. Damn. It's a tough one. The spreads are ass. How can you buy SpaceX? There's a ticker. I can't remember which one it is. Has exposure. I think it starts with an S. You can't buy SpaceX directly. It's not. Yeah, DXYZ. Thank you. Not an S. So this is the one that owns a part of SpaceX, and it's a publicly traded company. That's the only exposure you can get. All these stocks that were popping pre-market pulled back so bad. That some bullshit. Videos are in. Jeez. You do have a W here, but you also, well, the MACD could flip. Hmm. PLTR 5-minute. Building out. Carvana 5-minute building out. Wow, TEM rep. Jeez, TEM. Holy crap. Carvana 5. What's this? 83.57. Ooh. Okay. Have a shitty fill. Okay. That's what the spreads. 7. 64. 90. Come on. There you go, big boy. And half off just to lock it in. Damn. $385. Bro. Taking off there. Good trade. Good trade. Got our candle difference. Which one? I wonder if I refresh, will it look right? Yeah, like that. It's just because I switch over. He trades ass, I know. Tem is just juicing. PLTR went too. Dude, this Tem is just on fire. Coin. It's decent, right? Never have too much luck with coin. I've traded bad, traded poorly. Yeah, GameStop's a Bitcoin play now, so there's that. GPUSW has a W. Back these down though. Not touching it. SN 5 minutes looking decent. CISO. Yep, that's something to watch. T. Oof. 62.17. Come on. This could hurt. This could hurt. Oh, it hurt. Of course it cucks! Of course it does! Watch it bounce right back up. Pony coming back up. Watch for Pony. Unbelievable. Stops me out at the bottom of that candle. Pony's getting back up there. Watch that 1535 level. Carvana? Need a setup there. Hymns with some juice. It's crazy recovery there. Exclusive Axios. Small nuclear reactor swelling 42% quarter 1. I don't know if that moves this or not. That'd be OKLO and NNE. Small little win. Oh, look at you, you little piece of shit. Hymns with the juice. Bull has some levels. V now going? Jeez. Pony breaking my level here. Seitzel. Palantir. Seitzel. Thank you, Died for You. I appreciate that. Glad someone noticed. Shit. Missed it. Carvana looks like it's gearing up. Trader, let's go with the rate of 7. Thank you for my man. Hopefully your day went well. Hopefully you killed it. 6. TEM trying. Very nice training session. Nice work, man. SEZL setting up. I didn't get a chance to react to this one. Hymns, what? Jeez. $95. Do it. 16. First time. Yes. All right. Good trade. Seitzel or SEZL. That went nicely. GPUS coming back up. I don't trust this one, but it is setting up. Jeez. Oh, it worked. See if this ASST can put in something here. Different baits. Let's go, bud. 6 months. Pony. TEM, juice, PLTR here. Jeez. 39. What you got? Pony, more juice. There goes GPUS. We just talked about that one. It actually went. Gasparino, Wall Street execs with contracts in the White House, or contacts or contracts. The White House say the plan for the trade deals a trap. India, Japan, South Korea, Australia is to have tariffs at or around 10 per, like UK. China, of course, is another story developing. Trap for what? TEM juice and its face off. TEM, more juice. Carvana about to go. Jeez. We buy coming back up. To watch this one. Carvana. TR setting up. This we buy. Be interesting to see if it can get over VWAP. What was that one from yesterday? LTR? I don't know what it was. The one that went to freaking $40 or something like that.
Plus $20 last month. Here's your cut, G.
My man. Let's go. Nice job, Bishop. Green screen, my man. Holy shit balls! Did I do that? I might have. I might have triggered. I might have been the order that triggered the stop losses. Nick called out SN 5-minute in Discord. I took a look at it. I was like, geez, this looks delicious. Bought 1,000 shares because I like the cuck right here. And it went to the moon. So, Nick, once again, whenever you decide to swing the other way or not, I'll have your baby. We can name it Nick Jr. Hopefully it gets my incredibly good looks. Jeez. Good God, that was insane. Yeah, Nick's brain and fighting abilities. Nick's a good looking guy, too. I mean, I can't really. If the baby looked just like Nick, I'd be cool with that. Core weave. This is kind of a big level. This 55 that's been flirting with. GPUS. Is this a shit broker? So all right, I want to watch this Webuy. It must be gapping up quite a bit. 1635. Yeah. What do you guys see in a resumption quote on Webuy? $12.90. Uh-huh. There's a big window here. CVNA prime does look good. ASST ripped and then dumped. Holy jeez. IO and Q flat top here. Think 99. Yep. With rising support. Kind of a 2-pointer, but maybe 3 if you stretch it. That's what she said. Up for the day. That probably put me green. Yeah. Should probably, yeah. Kim's coming down. Carvana kind of breaking. Needs to curl soon. Webuy is going to open in about a minute. We want to watch that one. I think that could be fun. This one looks kind of good too for a flat top break. Are you expecting anything in this trade deal to move significant parts of the market? I don't know. I doubt it. This isn't one of the hard ones. This is like, this is the UK, like the closest of allies. So it'll be interesting. I think the part that people are going to be looking for is if there's any tariffs left on. If it's 10%, I don't think the market's going to like that, because if it's 10% on UK, that means it's 10% or more on everybody else. That's my guess. Webuy about 10 seconds, I think. Yeah. ASST halted up. Oh my gosh. Oh, no, you didn't. Yes, you did. Dollar spread now. Okay. Oh, no. Shit. It dropped the bid on me as soon as I was trying to exit. Okay, I just went out. This is too scary. Holy jeez. Oh my gosh. $1 spread? Is that how this thing trades? Pony coming back up to the highs. Pretty much, Yertle. Beef tariffs to 0. I think we're getting pieces of it here. UK cars still have 10% tariff. TEM here. 38 break. 48. Can we get 50? Don't dick me. Don't dick me. Why does this thing dick me? Why? Oh, MACD's down. I didn't even see that. Gosh. This is one of those red, green days. Come on. 50 break. $46. 45. 46. 29. It's flopping all over the place. Pony trying. Irritable. Damn you.
Oh no! Oh no!
It's gonna dip. Yep. Called it. The Pope, you can shit on yourself. Pony juice. Gosh! Every time I play TEM, I dick it. Dick the whole stock. There it is. There it is. Jeez. If I hold it down, ASST. How about that hurt? Okay, we're okay. Survived. A 5-minute look on the MACD flip. Yeah, for me, it's got to get back over or near 286. You might get that. A nice little bounce, though, off the 90 MA and the 5-minute cock right here. That's a nice little move. Riding that pony. I'm calling Rivian right now. Yeah, Rivian. You already know. You already know. You don't even know who I am. Oh, you know who I am. Okay. I am kind of famous. Well, what are we going to do about it? Better you than me. Is that what? You know, I have to go that low. But fine. 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 Pope. Carvana, here's that level. 26. Gosh. TEM. More juice. PLTR coming back up. Interesting. Resumption for ASST. 2618, so it should be right now. Yurtle? Or no, it's 10-minute halt. It'll be 3118. Pony's just juicing, dude. First time being halted. Congrats. It looks like you're gapping up pretty good. What do we have on a quote here on ASST? Wait, what? This thing's at high a day? Watch this V. Going for, it did break 550. Wait, what? What an insane recovery. $655 on ASST. Dude, congratulations, Bishop. It's going to be a nice win. If it opens here, hopefully you get people buying for the high day break. But again, this doesn't really do good. If you look at yesterday, I see that. I see that. Who's hiding that? Who's hiding that? It's clever. It's clever. I see what you did. The hell was I saying? Oh yeah, yesterday's halt ups. Look at what they did yesterday. So this one halted up, and then it opened and halted down. All right. This one halted up. This one gapped up a hair and went. Didn't gap, but went. Halted up, halted down. Halted up. Pop and drop. Halted up. Another pop and drop. Halted up. Pop and drop. So I missed Palantir. Whatever. Today's halt up. Halt up was the top. So if I was in this, I'd be selling half as soon as it opened, and the rest of it I'm selling for, or at least another quarter for the high day break. And if I want to play around with that last quarter, that's how I'd play it. This is not one that likes to run. Nay with the golden tomato. Golden tomato, you're nuts. And a Pope with the golden tomato. There should be. Is it gonna go? Might go here.
Attack starts in
Crying out loud.
5, 4, 3,
Yeah.
2.
$89. Let's go. Homie, congratulations. Is that your biggest trade ever, Bishop? Bishop is a relatively new trader for those that don't know. Jeez, I figured it out. Winston. Boom! Best trade ever. Son of a... Listen, boys, we have a section in Discord labeled best. Where is it? I don't even know. Best day ever. Bishop, I want you to go in here. I want you to copy paste your best day ever. So we can say congratulations. As long as today ends up being your best day ever. I don't mean best trade ever. I mean best day ever. Who's that? Hunter! Not you two. Not you two, Hunter. Okay. Yeah, I missed Carvana, Banana. I missed freaking PLTR. That's a shame, Hunter. Don't buy anymore. ASST trying high day again. It's not an easy trader. Not an easy trader. It will rug your ass. Thank you, Yertle. All right. Is Stocky not on? I see we got 500 plus today. That typically means that Stocky's not on. No Stocky today. Where's he at? You're new. What's the? It's this corn. It's free, by the way. We don't charge shit here. Who's winning the Star Jets series? Stars? Stars are freaking stacked. People just don't realize it yet. He has Rona combo? What? He's getting penis rich 10 inches. Stop. Been telling him for years. It's got to lower that beast. Nay with the shitter. Good God. Who gave you all money? We also have a clip section. I just noticed there's some new ones in here that I have not seen yet. Might as well. UES. What the hell? What the hell? Suck this dick. Okay. Why is the volume so low?
Hello! Hello! Milk me, daddy. Holy jeez. Holy shit, I turned around and where'd you get? Oh, fuck me sideways.
Yep, that was yesterday.
This is the guy that's outperforming your hedge fund manager.
PTA1 Peloton, the July 2026 $10 call is trading now on Peloton following the earnings report that's Papa Tango Watch in November.
Your hedgy McHedge is down 6% on the year, crying uncle, and I'm over here playing Master Beef to the freaking moon. I'm riding ponies like they're going out of style. You understand what I'm doing over here?
Oh boy. Did you break the parrot?
Billy, how can you tell if SJ is pregnant? Just check his pulse, Billy.
Just check his pulse? What? Thought you broke the parrot there for a second. Shut up, Salt Life. We got a 5-minute on Pony here. Oh, for crying out loud.
Another day, another Lord Fuckwad stream. Good old cock jock. You look like you eat meatballs without sauce. Did Gran give you your weekly gummin'?
Oh, jeez. The abuse I take. No mere mortal can handle. Carvana with the juice. Nice work, Sigma. ASST's just hanging out right now. QVC GB. V hanging out. Watch that for a 5-minute maybe. Well, it's already hit. Smack these down.
Whoa, Billy. Which part of a vegetable is hardest for SJ to eat? The wheelchair. Billy.
Oh my gosh. KIDZ hitting the scanner. Keep an eye on this one. Daily Cock is about $1 away right now. Just juiced up, didn't it? Be trying that high day. ASST watching for a curl too. Trust this. I want to take it so bad. This one right here scared me. Scared me away from this thing. Pony 5 minutes, still building out. It's a 30-second count.
Oh, Billy. Why is Santa and SJ sack so big? Because they only come once a year.
Oh my gosh. Let's compare it. Or 85 break, 87 high day. Can we do it? Got a struggle bus here. Osprey, come on! KIDZ. We're 650. That's where we gotta go. Seen this move.
Nothing more abused than your brown eye. I've heard your new name is Slip and Slide. Even the Boring Company would be impressed.
Oh my.
Like a tunnel to China.
Mm-hmm. I've seen that movie before. This is the same thing that it did here. Somewhat of an indecision or pop drop, curl back up and go. Pop drop, curl up and go. That's why I took the trade. Where are we at on the day? I feel like we're doing okay. 662. My mom's watching right now. Sorry, Mom. Your job stressful? Yep, it is. Or can be. Doesn't really like getting outside of the Bollinger Band though. So anytime I'd be up near the Bollinger Band, I'd be selling if I was in it. Pony 5 minutes. Still looking at that 17 maybe. Oh, we got White House going live here in a bit. Oh, there it is.
Ready when you are.
Okay, we're ready. We have the Prime Minister
on the phone.
Remember, Trump is now live.
This looks like
S&P
a Senate-
futures
Jose
drifting
Ramos.
lower now,
First, it's
down
so beautiful
about
here.
up about
So I just wanna
17, but moving lower.
Sound great. I just want to begin by saying that this is a very special day because it's Victory Day, World War II, May 8th, and just by happenstance, we have the Prime Minister on the phone, and we were great allies in that, and it's very unusual that the trade deal comes to, and we signed it up on the same day that we had a great victory, the greatest victory of them all. So we are talking more and more about Victory Day because we were a big part of it, and so was
Guys,
the
be
UK.
nice. SJ
And
needs
it's
to focus
just,
on D's nuts.
I guess, I don't know what
This
you
branch
call it.
ain't the
It's
only
just
thing that's got wood.
incredible that that day
Hawk
is the
called.
same day that we
He's
signed
starting to bully
a
me.
tremendous trade deal for both countries.
You,
So I'm
Sky
gonna
News
begin
now
by
showing the
just,
phone call between
adding that we just
President
concluded the rare earth deal with
and the
Ukraine.
Prime Minister.
That's been fully ratified and approved by their legislative branches, and
Rare
so we
earth?
appreciate that. And I'll be speaking with the president in a little while, a little bit later, and we appreciate that. But the deal is all now signed up and ratified, and we have access to a massive amount of very, very high quality rare earth. This morning, I'm thrilled to announce that we have reached a breakthrough trade deal with the United Kingdom. Incredible country. Today is a victory day for World War II. We won the war together exactly 80 years ago, so there could be no more perfect morning to reach this historic
Ratified yesterday.
agreement. And it's beautiful weather out. I will tell you that, Keir. Beautiful weather. It's so perfect outside. But it's really, in particular, the agreement with one of our closest and most cherished allies. And we're so happy that that's the way it worked out. I want to thank Prime Minister Starmer and his very talented team for their outstanding work and partnership.
VC High Day.
Today's agreement
B
with
or
the
B
UK
E
is
E
the
E,
first
not
of a series
VC.
of agreements on trade that my administration has been negotiating over the past 4 weeks. With this deal, the UK joins the United States in affirming that reciprocity and fairness is an essential and vital principle of international trade. The deal includes billions of dollars of increased market access for American exports, especially in agriculture, dramatically increasing access
Going
for
100K.
American beef, ethanol, and virtually all of the products produced by our great farmers. And our Secretary, as you know, of Agriculture is here. Brooke, thank you very much for being here.
Thank you, sir.
You'll let the farmers know. In addition, the UK will reduce or eliminate numerous non-tariff barriers that
Pony.
unfairly discriminated against American products. But this is now turning out, I think, going to be a great deal for both countries because it'll be really great for the UK also. So they're opening up the country. Their country is a little closed, and we appreciate that. They'll also be fast-tracking American goods through their customs process, so our exports go to a very, very quick form of approval, and there won't be any red tape. Things are going to move very quickly both ways. The final details are being written up in the coming weeks. We'll have it all very conclusive, but the actual deal is a very conclusive one. We think just about everything's been approved. So good for both countries, and we'll also receive new market access for American chemicals, machinery, and many other industrial products that weren't allowed, and they'll end up getting products that they'll be able to price, and if they like them better and we make great products, they'll be buying those products, but they were not available in the UK. Furthermore, in a historic step, the deal includes plans that will bring the United Kingdom into the economic security alignment with the United States. That's the first of its kind. So we have a big economic security blanket, and that's very important, and we feel very, very comfortable with that because it's been a great ally, truly one of our
W
great
on
allies.
KIDZ.
A lot of people say our greatest ally. I don't want to insult people by saying that, but I can say it's certainly one of our greatest, and right at the top, and they're the first one we're talking about. And by the way, we have many meetings planned today and tomorrow, and every country wants to be making deals. And we have a meeting, as you know, Scott will be going over to Switzerland on Saturday, and that'll be very, very
This
interesting.
freaking
We'll find
candlestick.
out, but I think they want to make a deal very badly too. Both countries have agreed that the economic security is national security and will be working together as allies to ensure that we have a strong industrial base, appropriate export controls, and protections for key technologies and industries like steel. Steel is a big factor. Both countries will become stronger with steel and things necessary for military. You know, we used to build ships and other things literally at a level that nobody's ever seen. And we haven't, we've eased up, and I would say that the UK certainly eased up, but now we're going to be uneasing both, and we work together. Once again, I want to thank Prime Minister Starmer. He's been terrific for his partnership in this matter, the special relationship and external bond. It's really an external and an internal bond between our two countries will soon be stronger than ever before, and we really do. We have a great relationship. I want to just say that the representatives of UK have been so professional. And it's been an honor doing business with all of them, and in particular the Prime Minister. And I'd like to introduce him now to say a few words. Mr. Prime Minister, please take it away.
Jeez, Vega.
Thank you, Mr. President, Donald. And this is a really fantastic, historic day in which we can announce this deal between our two great countries. And
see if this is going to be a bit of a sell the news event.
The history that we have of working so closely together. Can I
Particular Zulu Alpha Papa Papa, sure seeing a spike in activity, new highs, ZAPP.
An incredible job, a very professional job, and my team as well. Two negotiating teams have worked.
The social media circulation on that name, ZAPP.
Bring in this deal today. Really important deal. This is going to boost trade between and across our countries. It's going to not only protect jobs but create jobs, opening market access. And as you say, Donald, the timing couldn't be more apt, because not only was it 80 years ago today that victory came for Europe after and at the end of the Second World War, but of course on that day the UK and the US stood together as the closest of allies. And Donald, I think even down to the hour, because you may or may not know that it was about this time of day, exactly 80 years ago, that Winston Churchill announced victory in Europe, and that led to great celebrations across Europe, across America, but particularly in the United Kingdom. Literally people going out into the street, putting bunting up, going up to the palace. And so to be able to announce this great deal on the same day, 80 years forward, almost at the same hour, and as we were 80 years ago, with the UK and the US standing side by side, I think is incredibly important and makes this truly historic. That close relationship has endured over those 80 years. As you know, Donald, when it comes to defence and security and intelligence sharing, of course, there are no two countries that are closer than our two countries. And now we take this into new and important territory by adding trade and the economy to the closeness of our relationship. It is built, as you say, on those notions of fairness and reciprocal arrangements. We've always had a fair and balanced arrangement between our countries. This builds on that, hugely important for sectors like car manufacturing and for steel and aluminium and so many others. And yes, we can finish ironing out some of the details, but there's a fantastic platform here, including, of course, on the tech side, where I think I'm right in saying we're the only two Western countries with trillion-dollar sectors when it comes to
OnlyFans. That's
and in the end, it comes down to, as you say,
these two
economic security is national security, or national security.
The squawk service for both of them.
Absolutely, the closest of allies for so many years.
Highly recommend if you're a day
through
trader.
that close alliance, that friendship, and now we add to that this deal on trade and the economy. And I want to thank you for your leadership on that, Donald, and for the way in which your team have negotiated this. And I'm so pleased that we've got this deal, we've finalised it, and we've built an incredible platform for the future. So thank you so much. Donald, I'm now going to go and do a press conference. I think you have your press in with you, but on the details, I think if you've got Howard, we can deal with that through one of my team.
That's great. Well, Mr. Prime Minister, thank you very much. It's an honor. We're going to have a continued, maybe a better relationship than ever before. You know, I don't know if the media knows, but the U.S. and U.K. have been working for years to try and make a deal. And it never quite got there, but it did with this Prime Minister. So I want to just congratulate you.
Well, with this president, this prime minister, we've managed to achieve what many people have tried to achieve for many years.
That's right.
And I'm really pleased, and it feels completely historic and on a special 80-year anniversary as well. So, Donald, thank you so much. It's really good to have got this deal over the line. Tribute to both teams, tribute to our countries, and tribute to your leadership.
Thank you. Well, it really is a great thing. And you go do your press conference, and I'll see you soon. Maybe speak to you later. But thank you very much. An incredible thing. I can't tell you that for so many years, even as I sat, everybody talked and talked and talked about a deal with. It just seemed like a natural deal, but it was not done. But now it was done with us. So I feel very proud to have been a part of it. Keir, thank you very much.
Thanks, Donald, and we'll speak again soon.
Very good. So long. Bye. Why don't I do this? Why don't I have our Secretary of Commerce, Howard Lutnick, give a little description of the deal pretty quick, and then the good side, the very nice side, we'll be speaking about it also, maybe, from so you get a pretty equal. I think it's a very, it's just been a deal that was, we thought, very complicated. It became very simple. It's opening up the country that we really didn't have the kind of access to that I would have thought. I was surprised. I think it's why the deal never got done before. It was, you know, they've been working on this deal for 25 years. And we got it done, and we got it done. Really, it's going to be great for both countries. So, Howard, if you could go, and then somebody else, you may have, you'll pick whoever you want who'd like to do it. I have a feeling you're going to do it, right? So you guys go ahead, and then we'll take questions right after that. But I think you'll get a pretty good understanding of how big it is. It's a very large deal, very big deal. And Howard, go ahead.
So the UK is the 6th largest economy in the world and the 4th largest that we export to, right? So it's a huge market, a top 10 market. If you remember Liberation Day, they were at 10%.
Yeah, we do remember it.
Balanced trade with the UK, right? They say they have a surplus.
Oh, we remember it.
That counts gold bullion, which is, so let's just call it balanced trade. So how do you open up a market in balanced trade? People think it's impossible. They've always thought it was impossible until President Trump came on the scene and changed the way things work. So here's what we've got. We've opened up new market access, ethanol, beef, machinery, all the agricultural products. They've agreed to open their markets, and that will add $5 billion of opportunity to American exporters. So the question is, why would they do that now? Because they've never done it before, and we still have our 10% tariff on, which will produce $6 billion of revenue for the United States. So the idea was, how do they keep their jobs, protect their economy?
There it is, 10 stays on.
Best for their people while opening the market for us. And the way is they studied it, their team was exceptional, and they tried to figure out the markets that they're importing from other people and try to send them over to America. So why were they always favoring others and not us? And what they've done is they've found the ways to do that so that we have new access, right? But the UK workers are protected, and that was the balance. So we did a deal with them in automobiles, and you know, if you're not building here, we charge you a 25% tariff. But the president, and by the way, I want to make this clear, while Jameson and I worked hard, this was the president's deal, and people think, oh, that's not the way it works. If you got to sit next to him, I have the best deal maker to my left. And if
That's
you
the Boeing BA, seen a spike in activity, new highs for Boeing.
Prime Minister, getting that deal done.
Like Trump.
You don't understand who's the president of the United States.
His beetle
So
all
he's the
over
closer.
everything.
He gets
Thanks
deals
for
done
such a
that
great
we
market.
could never get done because he understands business. He
It's
understands
a big level
deals,
here on Boeing
and
that it's
that's why
breaking.
we're here today. So
It's 188, 70, whatever.
Send 100,000 cars.
Are they buying
into
some planes?
America
Is UK
and
buying
only
some
pay a
planes or
10%
something?
tariff.
What's going on?
And that protects their car industry. And remember, we do 16 million cars a year. So this is only like 0.6%. But for the UK auto people, this is tens of thousands of jobs that the president agreed that he would protect for them, so he made that deal, right? Then steel and aluminum, right? Their steel business has been destroyed like everybody else has been destroyed by people dumping steel into their markets. And British Steel had announced it was closing down. So the British government, as part of this deal, nationalized British Steel, and they're going to match the kinds of models we do. They'll put tariffs on, they'll put quotas on. They want to do it with America so they can be part of
What
the
the
resurgence
hell?
of steel and aluminum in America, and that saves them.
What
again,
the hell is this?
thousands
What
and
the?
thousands of jobs.
What
So
the
we
what
go
the?
Step by step, aero and commercial planes.
I took SES Sandy
We sell
Echo Sandy
Rolls-Royce
notes
engines to Boeing.
social media circulation
We've
blog
agreed
post
to let
from
Rolls-Royce
and
engines
NVIDIA
and those
accelerating
kind of
discovery of
plane
new
parts
battery
come
materials
over
with
tariff-free.
SES AI's
And what you're
molecular
going to hear
universe.
today is
SES
there's
shares
going to be
seen
an
a spike in
announcement
activity.
with the UK that they are buying $10 billion worth of Boeing planes.
There it
later
is.
Today, but I'm gonna
Why
let
are we getting
the
delayed
name of
stream?
the airline announce it because that's theirs to do. But part of this deal was always to do it together and to do it strong. And you can
Hot
see the numbers
damn.
on this board. Everything about this board works exceptionally well for the United States of America. It lays out the plan that you can work with us in autos, you can work with us with aero and commercial, you can work with us in pharmaceuticals if you have a supply chain that is secure and protected
Okay.
national security. So we feel really good about the deal. You've
What
heard
about
the Prime Minister, he feels really good about the deal.
Spirit
right? And we
moving on
started
that?
at 10% and we ended at 10%. And the market for America is better. And this is a perfect example.
We need a faster stream.
Why Donald Trump.
This is 20 seconds behind.
People don't understand. He gets things done in a matter of time. This would have taken Jameson and I 3 years, maybe. And instead, we got it done in 45 days, certainly.
That was a
because we
massive
worked with
trade.
Donald Trump. So,
2,000
Jameson,
bucks
my
green
partner
on the
all
day
this
now.
week. Jameson, you like to talk a little, and then we'll turn it over to the UK.
That one. See if that's faster.
When we step back and we look back a few weeks from now or months from now or years from now, we're going to look back and say, this is something we've been waiting for decades, and there is no more appropriate date to do this. And when we step back and we look back a few weeks from now or months from now or years from now, we're going to look back at this day and better appreciate the significance, I think. And I'll just say as well, in terms of negotiating, I mean, the UK negotiators, you know, we've got one right here, did an incredible job, right? This is why you win war. All those countries said we wouldn't get the ambassador. He knows more about trade than a lot of us.
Oh yeah, this is way faster.
And I would say on this deal, Mr. President.
Thank you very much,
sir.
Great job.
Thank you, sir.
Mr. Ambassador, please. Well, Mr. President, thank you very much indeed in hosting us this morning. And thank you very much indeed also for that very typical 11th hour intervention by you with your phone call to the President, demanding even more out of this deal than any of us expected. So thank you for that. The Prime Minister was delighted, obviously, to take that call late at night. But you took it to another level, and I think the point I would make is twofold. One is that if we're going to rebalance and rebuild international trade in a way that serves all our interests, then we're better doing that together than separately and apart, and that's what we're on a mission to do. But secondly, you've done what you said you would do. You said to the Prime Minister when he came and we visited in the Oval that you would do a good trade deal with the United Kingdom, that you would do it at pace, and that we would be first. And you have delivered that. You know, you've been true to your word. So thank you very much indeed for that. For us, it's not the end, it's the sort of the end just at the beginning. I mean, there is yet more we can do in reducing tariffs and trade barriers so as to open up our markets to each other even more than we're
Sometimes I forget about Hermie. He kind of blends in with my
But
room.
it also provides us
I just missed this trade.
with the platform, the springboard, to do what I think will be even more valuable for both our countries in the future, and that's creating a technology partnership between the United States and the United Kingdom so that we can harness science and technology in order to create future industries and future jobs, and to do that together in the way we work so closely already
Pony
in
going
national
for it.
security and
Watch
defense
that 17 break on
area,
Pony.
we can just take that to yet further areas of science, enterprise, and endeavor. So we're looking forward to doing that in the coming months. You've launched us extremely well today. It just, in my view, as the Prime Minister has said, just shows what two countries
Nice
who
little
trust
short
each
there.
other, who are confident in each other and are familiar with each other, can do, not just for ourselves, but for those, the rest of the world, who need to benefit from a bigger and better international trading system.
Thank you very much. It was beautifully stated. What a beautiful accent, too. I'd like to have that accent. Thank you.
My mother would be proud.
Thank you very much. Any questions?
James Matthews from Sky News.
Yes.
Can I ask, why Britain and why now? And you've described this deal as a full and comprehensive deal, and yet we've just heard from Mr. Mattles and it's the end of the beginning. Clearly, there's much more work still to do.
Yeah.
With respect, are you
TEM, nice curl.
reach and significance of this deal? Because you're a president who needs a result at a difficult time.
I think that it's a great deal for both parties. It's for us. We're opened up. I didn't know how closed it was. Quite closed, the market, as you know, the UK, and it opens up a tremendous market for us, and it works out very well, and a lot of assets. You see the chart, and those are tremendous assets. But we've been trying, and when you say why us, meaning your country, we've been trying for years to make a deal, including when I was in the, first term. It would always be people talking, but they weren't getting it done. But for 25 years before that, they were trying always to make a deal, a very significant deal. I actually, until I looked at the numbers, I didn't realize this is a very conclusive deal, but we think we can grow it even from that. But this is a maxed out deal, not like you said it. You said it really incorrectly. This is a maxed out deal that we're going to make bigger, and we make it bigger through growth. But we have tremendous assets.
I know it's your eBay,
eBay.
Josh Brown is out with a new long idea for eBay.
Come on, Josh Brown, use it, baby.
Agriculture. I really didn't know. It's depending on your definition, it's from 4 to 5 to 6. That's pretty big in the world. So I was very impressed by that. But we're going to take it to new levels.
70-50? Can we get it?
It's a very big deal right now, but I think it is going to grow just of its own volition. It's going to grow, and over time there'll be changes made. There'll be adjustments.
Yeah.
Spiking activity and long idea from Josh Brown. eBay.
Thanks, Josh Brown. Thanks, Beta Chuck, for calling it out. Exclamation point news.
The people of your country are going to be very
There it is.
with the result, and they'll be able to buy from.
I have outperformed BTC every year, and it is a get off of me.
It's a great thing that it came together.
Who was that?
It's so
Wannabe.
nice
Freaking
because we have many countries want to make a deal.
46
many
months.
countries are very unhappy that we happen to choose this one, to be honest with you. But it's a long time, our oldest ally, or just about. I guess a couple of people claim that too, but let's put it right at the top. I think it's
KIDZ.
gonna be
Keep
something
an eye on
very
this one.
special for,
Watch that 82
UK
break.
and special for the United States.
Got 9 or was it 88? Yeah, 88.
Well, very close. We have numerous deals. I know Howard's going back. As soon as this is finished, your press conference, he's got numerous. And Scott, who's right over here, who's fantastic, by the way. You were great on television this morning. I watched you. That was very You gave them a little lesson in the world and economics. But Scott's going to be going to Switzerland,
There it
meeting
is.
with China. And,
88. Did it
they
break
very
it?
much want to make a deal. We can all play games. Who made the first call? Who didn't make it doesn't matter. It only matters what happens in that room. But I will tell you that China very much wants to make a deal. We'll see how that works out. Every country throughout the last 40, 50 years has literally ripped off the United States on trade, on military, on protection, on all the different things. And we are now making fair deals. And in this case, it's great because we really weren't very much involved. You have the European Union, which is, I think,
Didn't go, so
you
I'm
made
gonna
the right
bail on it.
decision years ago. I don't know if you remember, I was opening up Turnberry the day that
If
you
it
were
goes.
voting. And they asked me, would it happen or would it not happen? I said, no, I think they're going to go their own separate way. I think it's better for them. And they did. I think it's going to end up being a very smart decision. But a big part of that decision was always that you'd be able to make a deal with the United States. And they were unable to do that. But now they made it. And it's a tremendous, it's very important. That was always a big part of your decision on Brexit. And they were never able to make
Him's
that
going
deal.
for 50 break.
It was a tough one. And this one was, it's amazing with time. This one just went very smoothly, went quickly and smoothly. And a lot of common sense, as I like to say. It's tremendous common sense, but it's going to make your country much bigger in terms of trade, and it's going to make our country much bigger in terms of trade, too. Yes, sir. Okay, go ahead, behind you.
Oh, yeah,
And then we'll get you.
BBC. Thank you, Mr. President. You mentioned meat.
You're with who?
The BBC.
Oh, good. Very nice. They treat me beautifully.
You mentioned meat and beef exports. The UK currently doesn't accept American beef because of its own food standards. Are you calling on the UK to accept all American beef and chicken products?
Well, I think they'll take what they want. We have plenty of it. We have every type.
What,
we
China,
have
they
every,
just cut rates more?
classification you could have. As you know, Bobby Kennedy is doing a tremendous job, and he's, I think, probably heading toward your system with no chemical, no this, no that. I mean, I think we're heading that way. It seems to be, and we have
5.
that also. So we're a very big country. We have a lot of beef.
Got a lot of beef.
So it'll
We
be
got
very
master
good.
beef.
Yes.
You want me to jump
A lot
in?
of beef.
Let's talk about American beef really quickly, and it can't be understated. I'm Brooke Rollins, by the way, how important this deal is and what this means
Lot
to
of
American
beef.
farmers and ranchers. Specific
Lot of
to the
beef.
This is going to exponentially increase our beef exports. And to be very clear, American beef is the safest, the best quality, and the crown jewel of American agriculture for the world. So I think a really important part of this deal isn't just the ethanol reducing of tariffs from 19 to 0, which for our row croppers is a huge deal, but also for beef. And as we move forward, I know our incredible trade team is looking at all of the meats, all of the produce, really all of our agriculture
All the
exports.
beef.
And I don't know
All the
if
beef.
there's an industry that has been treated more unfairly and has suffered more than our agriculture industry. So we look forward to, I'll be in the UK on Monday, talking to my counterpart over there for next week, and look forward to moving that out across the country. The president is
I think
incredible
we could say that we have the best in the world.
Bees
best
is juice and
tractors,
juice.
the best everything in the world, and they say that our agriculture is, second to none. You understand, and it'll be a great asset. People are going to be able to have options, choice, and they'll have more of it, and that usually means lower prices. How about we'll do you and then you? Go ahead.
Question for the Italian TV, Daniele Compatangelo, LA7, TV 2000, Primetime Media. So congratulations for the deal.
It's amazing he doesn't wear glasses.
But what's the rest of Europe? It's a victory day, but other European countries, it seems like
Well,
they're losing
we intend to make a deal with Europe. We have found that the European Union treated us extremely unfairly, very difficult, and hurt themselves in doing so. And they very much want to make a deal. We'll be dealing with them. We are dealing with them currently. So that'll cover pretty much the rest of it. But this was separate because of Brexit in particular. This was a separate deal. It always seems so natural. I mean, all the media would say that
Don't
this
even
seemed to be
know.
like, why did this happen 25 years? Why didn't it happen a long time ago? And it was always amazing to me. Somebody would say, hey, we got to make a deal. We have to make a deal. But this deal just fell into place.
Well, which
the
one?
Prime Minister did a fantastic job. His representatives are total professionals, and they got along well.
Oh my
and
gosh.
it
No, I
just seemed
can't
to
have
work. And I
that.
think one of the reasons it did
Jesus.
is because we blew up the whole system. If we would have just been dealing with you separately or,
I'll get
country by country,
freaking
we blew up the whole system. It was very fair to the United
PLTR,
very unfair to the
Hade.
United States. And I think because of that, this worked out so nicely. And I'm honored that it was the first deal.
It's allowed.
Well, why don't you go in the back, yes?
Oh, thanks, sir. I'm with the London Times. I'd say this is a great day for James Bond because now Aston Martins will be available to American buyers. Will it be even better by extending it to film? You've talked about a big tariff on films, and we'd like to know if there'd be relief on British.
Well, we're going to have a discussion on that separately. And as you know, we're putting tariffs on that particular film, he said, the movie makers. And we're going to be doing some tariffs to get them, because a lot of them have left this country. They all live here. The money comes from here. Everything comes from here, but they make them in other countries. So we're going to do something to bring them back, maybe to a large extent. But James Bond has nothing to worry about that, I can tell you. James Bond. And you know, Sean Connery was a friend of mine. Sean Connery was responsible for my getting zoning in Aberdeen. He said, let the bloody bloke build his golf courses. And, you know, I was like 4 years into the process, and it was impossible in Aberdeen. And he, I don't know, he just stood up one day and he said that. As soon as he said that, I got the approvals in about 2 minutes. So he was a great guy, Sean Connery, and great character.
Back there in the later in the year.
Say it?
Are you going to Scotland and to
yeah, I will be, sure. It's great. We have a lot of investment over there. We have Turnberry, Aberdeen. We have, as you know, in Doonbeg in Ireland, right on the ocean. They're all on the ocean. I only have interest if they're on the ocean. And we have good investments over there. Been beautiful. Yes?
Mr. President, if the talks go well this weekend between Secretary Bessent and Ambassador Greer with their Chinese counterparts, not preemptively, but if the talks go well, would you then consider lowering the tariff rate on China?
Nope.
Well, it could be. I mean, we're going to see. Right now, you can't get any higher. It's at 145, so we know it's coming down. I think we're going to have a very good relationship. You know, I always got along very well with President Xi.
Talking nice here.
Trump asked if China's
by
going to be
when COVID came in.
Could be.
But we get along very well.
See if we move off of that.
We had the relationship was hurt with a lot of people, a lot of countries when COVID came in. But I think we're going to have a very good relationship. I expect to have a very good relationship with China, Scott. I think it's a very friendly meeting. They look forward to doing it in an elegant way. China, as you know, has a tremendous trade surplus with us, and we just can't have that. And but I think it's going to be very good for both countries. I would like to see China opened. You know, one of the big things here is, and nobody would know this, but the UK was largely closed. It was very much closed to trade, and now it's opened. And a lot of the financial reporters are very happy about that, because so much I listened to them. Well, I hope they get countries opened up.
I'm surprised it's not doing better off of those comments.
Basis, but you can't compete when you're not allowed to go there. China would be the #1 example of that. You know, it's very closed. We almost had it last time before COVID, and that didn't work out. But we made a great deal with China. They had to buy $50 billion worth of our food products, and it was a great deal, doing very well for our farmers. And then when Biden came in, as usual, nothing happened. You know, he didn't enforce it, and it got less and
Bitcoin
less
hits
and
100K.
less, and ultimately, you know, destroyed a great deal. That was a great deal. But no, I think that we're going to have a good weekend with China. I think they have a lot to gain. I do think they have far more to gain than we do in a sense, but we're going to have I think we're going to have a very good weekend.
Will you speak to Xi after the weekend talks?
I might, yeah, sure, depending on what Scott says. We Scott is doing certain countries, and Howard's doing certain countries. I mean, I wish I had like 10 more of each.
How's this not
we
going
could
up?
do them all at one time. But there will be a time, we'll do a number of them, and then there'll be a time, I think I can say this, Scott and Howard, where we're just going to say, because we understand the countries, we understand what they want, where we're just going to make the deal. In other words, we don't need the country involvement because we've already had it. And we'll say this particular country, which had big surpluses, let's say, we had therefore deficits, that this particular country is going to pay a 25% tariff, or a 30%, or a 50%, or 10%, or whatever it may be.
It's moving
This
way
was, I
too
think we
slow
should
for
explain
me.
it now, Howard. One of the things we did here that we'll rarely do.
For a
is on
3X
cars,
bull,
we took it from 25
it is-
to 10 on Rolls-Royce. because
Now you go!
Rolls-Royce is
Sit
not
in
gonna
your
be built here.
freaking
I wouldn't even ask
playing
them to do it.
Twiddledick,
It's a very special car,
and it now goes.
and it's a very limited number too. It's not, you know, one of the monster car companies that makes millions of cars. They make a very small number of cars that are super luxury, and that includes Bentley and Jaguar. So we have some very special cars. So in order to help that industry, and that's really handmade stuff, and they've been doing it for a long time in the same location. And I said, yeah, that would be good. Let's help them out with that one. But that's different than a car company that comes out and makes millions of cars, which they'll be doing in our country. They're going to build. We have many
crypto notes
factories,
Bitcoin,
car plants
spiking
being
activity,
built
new highs
or
for Bitcoin.
going to be built very soon. I think we can say that we'll be close to $10 trillion of investment. I think we're actually at that number now. If you add up some of the ones we haven't heard about yet. And we have some going up right now. They have plants going up, and they haven't even spoken to us. They're doing it because of the tariffs. And tariffs have always been used against us, and I never understood. I used to sit back. As you know, China paid hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs when I was president. But until then, China never paid anything. And, they really did a big number on us from the standpoint of trade. But we are using tariffs now for our benefit. And we have now close to $10 trillion. Think of that, $10 trillion. If you look at the past administration, and we're talking about over, essentially 2 months, because we could say 3, but it took a little while to get the office in perfect shape, right? It took a little while to get things done. But once we started, when you think of that, close to $10 trillion of investment, you've had years where the United States wouldn't do that wouldn't do $1 trillion in a year, wouldn't do anywhere near $1 trillion. We did $10 trillion in 2 months. So it's amazing what's happening. We're getting calls from, and that has to do with chips, has to do with cars. We used to make chips. We had Intel, and we used to make chips. We had a monopoly on chips. Everything was made here. And now, over a period of years, because of presidents that didn't know what they were doing, they allowed that business to be stolen from us. Most of it moved to Taiwan. And you probably were in the same position, right? Because you had a lot of the chip-making capacity, but they moved it in. And if we would have said, that's fine, if you want to move it to Taiwan, that's good. But if you want to sell back into the United States, we're going to put a 50% or 100% tariff on, they would have never left. But we had people sitting here that didn't understand that, and it's too bad. But now they're coming back, because I'm saying it about 40 years too late. But they're coming back. As you know, we have the biggest chip makers in the world spending, in one case, $300 billion, in one case, $500 billion. Same as Apple, and in another case, $200 billion, and we're going to have a large share, very, very substantial share
It's
of
a
the
cuck and go.
chip
Give it to
market.
me. Holy volume, man.
Be a friendly visit, but do you expect that
Jeez.
formality to break the ice, or are they going to get into substantive negotiations?
I believe so. Yes, I believe it's substantive. Yes. I think people like to say, yes, we're having a meeting to meet. Well, we're meeting, so what are we going to do? Talk about meeting again? I think it's going to be substantive. I think we can say that, right, Scott? Very substantive. Now, China wants to do something. And look, they have to at this point. Essentially, they made $1 trillion a year, and now they have absolutely, no business because of the tariffs. They have no business. And they want to have business, and we want them to have business. We want them to do well. We want them to do very well. So I think it's going to be very substantive.
Good God,
Has
Bob.
slowed down, as you mentioned.
In China.
But we're seeing, as a result, the ports here in the U.S., the traffic has really slowed, and now thousands of dock workers and truck drivers are worried about their jobs.
Yeah, no, that means we lose less money. When I see that means we lose less money. Look, China was making over $1 trillion, $1.1 trillion, in my opinion. Different numbers from 500 billion to $1 trillion or $1 trillion. I think it was 1.1 trillion. And frankly, if we didn't do business, we would have been better off. Okay, you understand that. So when you say it slowed down, that's a good thing, not a bad thing. But we're going to make it so they can. I'd like to say they can do better, actually, in terms of the bottom line. We'd like to see China opened up so we can compete in China and, give people something that they've never had, access to something. That'd be great for the world. It would be great for our businesses. And I think it would be great for friendship. I really expect, a lot of people think I'm a militant guy. I'm really not. I think that
ZAP
a
Roma?
greater friendship with China can be something good. But, one of the things that I know Scott's going to be talking about very high.
PLTR high a day, Carvana high a day.
And let our businesses go into China, because when you talk about a closed country, that's a really closed country. And I think it would be great if it was opened up. It'd give people a lot of choice. And would create a lot of jobs, a lot of everything. So I think it would be a great thing for China. And that's going to be one of the things we'll be discussing, like we discussed with UK. Yeah, please.
But what does Britain have to do for you to drop the baseline 10% tariff that you're maintaining?
Well, I think that's set because that has to do with a lot of different things, including past. You know, there are a lot of past things.
Okay.
This is very inclusive. We included everything, and that's pretty well set. Yeah, please.
Yeah, Mr. President, the 10% baseline tariff remaining in place, is that a template for these future trade deals?
Well, I got greedy.
No.
Is it going to stay in every case?
No, that's a low number. They made a good deal. Some will be much higher because they have massive trade surpluses.
Oh, jeez.
You know, in many cases, they didn't treat us right. One thing with UK, they had it, somewhat closed, not like a China.
$1,000 loser.
But they always treated us with great respect.
What is this
They
shit?
treated us with great respect. The template of 10 is probably the lowest end, and therefore they
150 kickers.
made that
Yep.
deal. But they, we've had just a very
We
special
just
relationship
fall
with
frickin'
them.
earth
Like,
here.
I won't do that deal with cars. I mean, unless somebody shows me that there's another kind of a car that's comparable to a Rolls Royce. And there aren't too many. This is a good commercial for Rolls Royce. They're going to order a lot of cars.
Mr. President, I wonder whether you'd like to buy. I mean,
well, the last time this happened, they ended up.
I would be happy to suggest.
Who? What company owns Rolls
a very
Royce?
modest discount. We have to protect our profit margin.
I've had many of them actually. The last time that happened,
car
I ended
ads?
up buying a Tesla.
VW does.
Thank you. Mary Margaret Ollingham with Daily Wire. I had a question about the UK deal today. I heard there was talk that part of the agreement would depend on whether the UK would respect free speech and freedom of religion. I know the VP is really interested in that, talked about that earlier this year. Was there any assurances that you guys got on that front?
You want to handle that?
Yeah, that was not part of the conversation. Our conversation was an economic conversation from start to finish, closed by the president yesterday. This was a business deal, open their markets, and also protect their workers, grow our markets, and help our workers.
This was about business religion. Business is sort of a semi-religion, but not nearly as important. I don't want to get myself into Go ahead, please. In the back. Go ahead.
Mr. President, will you be asking China to help you close, the gap between Ukraine and Russia?
I think so, yeah. I think it's a natural thing to ask.
What do you expect?
Sure. I don't know. I think we're making good progress. Fighting is a little bit different than it was. I think if we weren't involved, Russia would be, going at it to maybe get the whole thing. And without our involvement, they'd be able to get it because we supplied a lot of different things foolishly. But we've been sort of paid back by doing the rare earth deal that I talked about before. I think that. No, I think
ticker
that
Tesla,
we will be very much
Virginia spike in
involved trying
activity,
to get
new
that
highs,
bloodbath.
TSLA.
It's a bloodbath. It's a horrible situation. 5,000. It's really more than that. But it's 5,000 soldiers on average a week, mostly soldiers, are being killed. Young, beautiful people. I mean, they're being killed. I see the satellite pictures coming back, body parts lying all over fields, heads and arms. It's so terrible. I've never seen anything like it, actually. And if we can get that stopped, that will be a great accomplishment. And we're trying very hard. And I think we're close. And Mr. Witkoff is talking constantly back and forth. He's a real professional. He's got a great relationship with both countries. And I think we have a good chance. And likewise, we're trying to work on Iran to get that solved without having to get into any bombing, as we say, big bombing. I don't want to do that. I want them to work a deal. I want them to be very successful.
Mr. President, Edward Lawrence from Fox Business.
Yes.
On the non-market barriers, how did you get the UK to bend, and what was the 11th hour deal or ask?
Well, I think it was really just a part of the overall. I mean, they have so many things that are so good for them. It's going to be so good for the country, and that was sort of easy. It wasn't. We had non-market. I call it non-market or non-monetary trade barriers, and we had quite a few of them. Not nearly as bad as some countries. Some countries have, they have virtually no tariff, but the rest of it is so brutal you can't do business with them, right? So it's a very important question, actually. No, I think the overall deal deal just worked out very well from their standpoint. They were willing to give that in order to get other things, and you might want to speak to that, Mr. Ambassador.
Look, the point about the deal is that we will continue reducing tariffs and non-tariff barriers. This is a continuing picture. It's a movie. It's not a still picture here. It's a movie. It continues. And we're both committed to freeing up trade between our countries. We're both committed to freeing up investment between our countries. And the point about this deal is that it provides a very good template and a very good launch pad for what we can continue to do and build on in the future. And that's what we're both determined to do.
You know, many of the, well, wait, better not say.
That's between us.
Many of the, we'll keep it confidential. Yeah, how about just one more little thing, right? It got the deal closed, and it was handled very well from the other side, too. But many of these things that we're talking about, we've been talking about this for 25 years.
Sorry about that, Soils.
It's hard to explain when, if you weren't sitting behind this beautiful Resolute desk, you just wouldn't get it. I have been hearing about making a deal with UK for 25 years. And especially around the time of Brexit. They wanted to make a deal, so they came out of Brexit and they make a deal, and how natural. And it just couldn't be done. It couldn't be done. Good people. And this is a bigger deal. This is a much bigger, better, stronger deal for both of us than we ever even contemplated before. It's a big deal.
Virtually everyone said that it would end in failure, it would end in tears, and it's ended in exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
But, Mr. President, can I say that that is due to Secretary Lutnick and Ambassador Greer, who've been absolutely fantastic. But yesterday I received a call, a very diplomatic call that just edged things over the line, and that was from your new ambassador in the United Kingdom.
Who is terrific.
Warren Stevens, he's here.
Where's Warren?
Right here.
Hello, Warren.
He's flying to London tomorrow night. He's going to be very popular with the British people. He's going to be a very successful ambassador.
Jeez, they've got the microphone like right over the press.
And he's got plenty of cash. Okay, plenty of cash.
We need some more big spenders.
Yeah, go ahead.
Are you planning to meet Ursula von der Leyen?
You're going to go ahead, fast.
Yes, are you planning to meet Ursula von der Leyen, the president, or do you plan to cancel anytime soon?
Oh, she's so fantastic, right? She's so fantastic. I hope we're going to meet. Yeah, the answer is yes. I saw her a few days ago. And I think that we'll definitely meet, yeah. The European Union is a big thing. They want to make a deal very badly. You know, everybody wants to make a deal. Look, everybody wants to make a deal with the United States, and we're doing that, and we're going to make fair deals. I'm just honored that this was the first one. Go ahead, please.
The Federal Reserve Chairman, Mr. President, says that you would have to call him for a meeting. Do you plan to meet with him?
I could call him for a meeting, but it's like talking to a wall. He should be.
The Bank of England cut today.
Well, the Bank of England cut, China cut, everybody's cutting but him. It's I don't know. We'll see what happens. It's a shame. I call him Too Late, Too Late Powell. That's his nickname, and it's a shame. It's ridiculous. So meeting, he's always too late. But in this case, it's not going to matter that much because our country is so strong. We're so powerful in terms of economic strength and what we've done. And I'll tell you what, if we didn't have our first term, you wouldn't be. We created things in the first term. We cut more regulations than any president in history. We cut the taxes more than anybody in history. And a very big factor is going to be the tax bill that we have right now, the one big beautiful bill, as we call it, which is all-encompassing, the biggest tax cuts ever in history, bigger than even the first time, and the incentives, even great for the UK, because it'll make us so strong that we're going to be doing more business with you. It's a very important element for taxes, for every aspect, regulation cuts. That bill is, I believe it's the biggest bill of its kind ever in the history of this country. And Speaker Johnson and Leader Thune have done an incredible job. I mean, I'll let you know, we have to get a vote, but we have a lot of support for that bill. And if that happens on top of all of these trade deals that we're doing, this country will hit a point that you better go out and buy stock now. Let me tell you, this country will be like a rocket ship that goes straight up. This is going to be numbers that nobody's ever seen before. That's a very important element of all of this. You know, if we get that, if you don't, and the Democrats are fighting it only because they want to fight. They have Trump derangement syndrome.
Macro note, Trump with comments says, quote, better go out and buy stocks now.
Sitting behind you, they'd be fine. But they have Trump derangement syndrome. You know, Senator Schumer's become a Palestinian. Welcome. I don't know when they're going to give him the ceremony, whatever the ceremony.
Activity on that new high.
It's terrible what's happened to the Democrats. So, very, very important element of everything, of what we're doing, unrelated to today, but related in the sense that we'll do, if that passes, we'll do even more business with the UK. We'll have so much. It's the biggest tax cut in history. It's going to make our country zoom. It's going to be incentive, as you know, with the deduction for basically for work. You work, you build, you plant, etc. Deduction. It's going to be the biggest. It's the biggest bill of its kind ever passed. Maybe the biggest bill ever passed. That's why we call it the one big beautiful bill.
You just announced a new nominee for the U.S. Surgeon General who never finished her residency and is not a practicing physician. So can you explain?
Ticker Apple sure seeing spiking activity new high.
Because Bobby thought she was fantastic. She's highly, she's a brilliant woman who went through Stanford, and as I understand it, she basically wanted to be an academic as opposed to a surgeon. I think she graduated first in her class at Stanford. And Bobby really thought she was great. I don't know her. I listened to the recommendation of Bobby. I met her yesterday and once before. She's a very outstanding person, a great academic, actually. So I think she'll be great.
Your nominee for U.S. Attorney of D.C., do you have a backup plan if this Senate?
Oh, I do, yeah, but he's a terrific person, and he wasn't getting the support from people that I thought. You know, he's done a very good job. Crime is down 25% in D.C. During his period of time.
Starting to juice.
I'm very disappointed in that, but I have so many different things that I'm doing now with the trade. You know, I'm one person. I can only make, boom, I can only lift that little phone so many times in a day. But we have somebody else that will be great. I just want to say Ed is unbelievable.
Ready to go.
And,
Pony, I cannot believe
bring
it.
him into whether it's DOJ or whatever, in some capacity, because really outstanding. To me, it was disappointing, I'll be honest. I have to be straight. I was disappointed. A lot of people were disappointed. But that's the way it works sometimes, you know. That's the way it works. And he wasn't rejected, but we felt it would be hard. And we have somebody else that we'll be announcing over the next 2 days who's going to be great.
The whole thing.
I think they're saying that just to try and negotiate deals with me. They're not. Look, tariffs are the most misunderstood thing maybe in any form of business, anywhere in business. Oftentimes the country picks them up.
17.
Oftentimes the company picks it up. The people don't pick it up, okay? The people don't pick it up. And if Ford did that, they wouldn't sell any cars. And if Mattel, I don't know, I'm not so sure. They also said, they're the only country I've heard, they said, well, we're going to go counter. We're going to try going someplace else. That's okay. Let him go, and we'll put 100% tariff on his toys, and he won't sell one toy in the United States, and that's their biggest market. I heard that. I mean, I watched this guy talking about how I'm going to go counter. I said, well, I wouldn't want to have him as
the DJ Team Delta Juliet Tango.
Watch Mattel get freaking wrecked here.
By saying that. But we don't think that's going to happen. Look, I put out a truth today, and it said that gas is down, gasoline is down, energy is down, groceries are down, eggs are down. I mean, eggs, thank you very much, but eggs are down. When I came in the first week, you guys hit me with eggs. I said, what the hell happened with eggs? Eggs were up like 170%, going up, and they said don't order any for Easter. And we were thinking about ordering plastic eggs like everybody was doing.
U.S. That headline now on the wires.
Fantastic job, agriculture.
This is why we watch this stuff, baby.
We had hundreds of thousands of eggs out here on the lawn just 2 weeks ago at Easter. But you take a look at the cost. Energy's down. Even interest rates are down. Now, if the chairman of the Fed, Jerome, if he would lower interest rates like China did, like I think UK did, but like numerous other countries have done, it's like jet fuel. It'd be great. But he doesn't want to do it. I think he doesn't want to do it. Probably he's not in love with me. I think that's right. It's sort of a crazy reason, but that's the way life is.
I don't know. Maybe all the comments you have against him had something to do with that.
But even without that, we're doing well. But remember this, I've watched you people reporting over the last few months that if we do this, prices are going to go through. Well,
just maybe.
Groceries are down. All of this stuff is down. Lumber is down. Oil is gone to, we have that thing broke 60, right? $60 a barrel. And $1.98, $1.99 in some cases. And heading in that direction. No, I think it's been amazing, actually. And what that's good for, it gives the consumer more money, and it gives them a better life, because we just came out of the worst inflation, in my opinion, in the history of our country. They say 48 years. But Biden up energy, and he spent too much money. He was spending it on, green new scam. And that's like throwing the money. See that beautiful window behind? Take money, throw it right out that window. Because it's the same thing. He spent $10 trillion. He wasted it. Not only was it bad, it was a negative.
It's a
It wasn't even
freaking
like-
ripping right now, dude.
It helped a little bit. It was a real negative. And then on top of it,
Pony
they let
hiding.
21 million people into our
Chicka
country.
bow wow.
Any identification, anything, just let them in. It's
Is this a
very
double
expensive.
shit?
Well, we'll do one or two more.
Good God.
Go ahead. Who are you with?
I'm with the Daily Telegraph. Now, you know me from
I do.
how concerned are you about the UK's reliance on China? Chinese money in the money markets, Chinese exports.
We're not concerned.
Is that something that came up in
Honestly,
discussions?
I'm not concerned about anything. If I was, I wouldn't even be here right now. If I was concerned about anything, I
Kids
wouldn't be
back
there,
up.
But I wouldn't be here right now. No, we're not concerned. We're going to have, I believe, a very good relationship.
Well, you ain't
with
break.
China, and a fair relationship, and it'll get bigger and it'll grow.
50?
It'll grow. As an example, if they open up the country, that'll be the best thing China ever did for itself. They don't know that yet
No.
because, it's been a different system. But that'll be the greatest thing that ever happened to China. The people will be happier. They'll buy for less.
I
and they'll
freaking.
see things that they
This
never
stock
saw
hates
before,
me,
and
man.
They'll be buying them. And it'll really create great long-term peace.
And if I could,
Second
ask
attempt.
the Agriculture Secretary, actually, there's a lot of concern about chlorinated chicken, the import of hormone-treated beef. Has that question been addressed, resolved in these talks, or is that something for the continuing negotiations?
Well,
James.
I would just say that it's very clear, and we have in the heads of terms that we are going to discuss all of these types of issues.
Just
And
lowering
obviously,
size here so I don't get
importing country,
double
whether it's
dicked.
us or them, you gotta follow
And
the
there's your
rules on
cock.
those types of things. But
Unbelievable.
our point is the rules need to make sure that they are based on science, and that's our expectation. We know the UK believes that too, so we want to come to an accommodation. We want the
Not
consumers
bad.
in
Didn't
each
lose my
country to
shirt
be able to
there.
choose what they want and give them the
Ponies juicing.
We have an incredible EPA.
V
led
coming
by
back up.
Administrator Zeldin that is on this. So the talks continue, but we are
Boeing
very,
1
very
minute maybe.
in our products, and
A lot of
what the
plays here.
president's
Great
done
product.
to open up the markets is unprecedented for these farmers here in America.
192 level.
Wall Street as they watched this. I mean, you saw the stock market decline sharply after Liberation Day, and it's rallied back since then.
Well, now it's going to really rally because, don't forget they said this is all a pipe dream. And this is a tough one. Somebody would say, well, this is easy. This is much tougher, I think, than any other deal because they've been at it for so many years, decades, trying to make this deal. And
Should've
it's very
gone.
conclusive, and it's a great deal, and it's a very big deal, actually. And no, this is just the beginning. We're going to be having conferences, or at some point we won't have. We'll just put out a statement that we just signed this country, that country, and after a number of these are done, nobody has enough people to do it. We're just going to put out X country is going to pay this, and if they open up, they're going to do this and that and that, and they're going to be open up. Everybody wants to be here. I say this is where they want to be shopping. They want to shop in this country because we have the consumer. And we have the consumer like nobody else. And, if this country went bad, the whole world would go bad. But we really
Steve.
saved it from going bad. Yeah, please.
No, can I ask you about the air traffic control issue? Are you looking at getting new software? New
I'm glad
equipment?
you asked me about it because I'm just going to be talking to now with the heads of the airlines and everything else. So I was all set before we had the rigged election to give out a brand new gorgeous system to one company that was going to do the whole thing, one of the best companies in the world that you know very well. You know, there are 3 or 4 of them that do it. And
Who?
when they took over, Buttigieg, who has no clue, you know, he drives to work on his bicycle with his, in all fairness, with his husband on the back, which is a nice, loving relationship. But he didn't have a clue. This guy didn't have a clue. And he's actually a contender for president. Between him and Crockett, you can have that party. But he didn't know what he was doing. And he took what they call dry systems where you have wires in the earth, buried in the earth or whatever. And then you have the open air systems where you have satellites. And you can't mesh them. Anybody would know that if you went through about 2 months of study in school, if you studied that kind of thing. And he did. They spent tens of billions of dollars.
RTX is
trying
what they're
to
thinking?
Take
Is it
old,
RTX?
broken equipment and merging it into existing new equipment with brand new equipment. It's one of the
Can this
greatest. They
stop
spent
going
like
down?
$40 billion. And what they did is they made it worse because it doesn't work together. You can't make it work together. If you have a satellite system, you need satellite. If you don't, they had all these different technologies, some of them 50 years old, and they're trying to mesh them in. And they end up spending twice the money they should have spent.
Pony 1 minute.
A whole new system.
Boeing 1
So
minute.
we have a very good guy who you all know, Sean Duffy, is head of transportation, and I've given him a 10-minute lesson in buying, and he's become really good. And we are now in the market to buy a gorgeous, brand new system. The helicopter that crashed into the plane at 400 feet, it shouldn't have been. What would have happened is all sorts
Good
of
exits
bells
there.
and sirens
I'll
would
be
have
okay
been
with
going
that.
off 3 minutes before that accident happened, if you had the right equipment, but they didn't. And the new equipment is unbelievable what it does. You can have, you don't even, well, I was going to say something, but you always, in my opinion, you always need pilots. I want pilots. But you wouldn't even have to have pilots. This system is so incredible what they can do. But we have a system that's obsolete. And what they did is the worst. They tried to combine the really old, broken stuff with the new stuff. And you can't combine it. And anybody should have known. So Biden, do you think Biden figured this out? I don't think so, fellas. Do you think he has any clue? He doesn't know what the hell's happening. So here's the story. We're going to be buying a brand new, it's going out to bid very soon, brand new state-of-the-art system that will cover the entire world. I'll give you an example. When my pilot, now I have military pilots, but prior to that, I have very good pilots.
That's not a 1
great
minute.
pilots. They would land, and I won't
eat
tell
her
you which
dick in
country,
me.
but they would use the system of another country. They wouldn't even use the system of the United States. So if I'm landing in New York or Florida or Tennessee, they're using a system from another country. I said, why is that? And they were, you know, they're not into business, but they're just saying, our system doesn't work, sir. And I said, boy, that's what you say.
I'm going big, and I can't get a hit. I'm going big. I'm sized up here. Haven't hit yet.
Numerous companies. And you have companies that would do it, like an IBM, as an example. And you give out one deal, one contract. They gave out hundreds of contractors. They had diggers. They had non-diggers. They had people that focused
Now it
on
goes.
satellites. They
You
had
piece of
hundreds
shit.
different
You
contracts.
piece of shit.
One contract where one guy is controlling everything. If you need a trench, then they dig a trench. But if you don't dig the trench, they don't blame you. What happens is you don't dig it, then they say we want a cost overrun. Now, we have it all set, and we're going to be doing it. We would have done it, except that the election took a little strange turn. But the second one didn't. That was too big to rig. Thank you very much, everybody.
Enough of that. Holy jeez. Oh my gosh! I look away for a second. I'm getting dicked here. What is that candle? Okay. Okay. Screwing you, Vega. Oh, gosh. All right. I've given back all my gains today, minus $600. I've got to hang it up. I've broken quite a few rules here. 150K curse. We were up $2,700, and now we're up $600. So, that's trading for you. You're still green on the day, and you feel like shit. There's only one thing that can make me feel better. Calling it here, $600. 4 trades in a row. Went big. Struck out. All right, well, be back tomorrow. I'll be in Discord a little later if things calm down. Maybe I feel AC and A quality setup or something, but bullshit. Bullshit. You guys are awesome. Thanks for hanging out. See you guys tomorrow.